India's missing girls. According to the Sample Registration Statistical Report, India's sex ratio at birth fell from 909 live female births for every 1000 male births in 2011 to 2013 to 906 in 2012 to 2014. Globally, the sex ratio at birth favors boys, albeit only very marginally. In India, however, the gap between live male and female births is huge and is generally attributed to prejudice against girls. We analyze this disturbing trend. What has the survey revealed? Nationwide, the number of girls born per 1000 boys has dropped from 909 during 2011 to 2013 to 906 for the 2012 to 2014 period. The Sample Registration System 2014 has found. At the national level, it is 907 in rural areas and 905 in urban areas. Among the bigger states, the sex ratio at birth varies from 974 in Kerala to 866 in Haryana. Sex ratio at birth is considered an accurate marker for girls missing at birth. Internationally, the ratio at birth is 950 or more girls born per 1000 boys. There are two big takeaways from these findings. The first one is the crackdown on ultrasound clinics should continue. And the second one is the government programs aimed at correcting sex ratio should be holistic and not stopgap arrangements. The figures released by SRS, one of the major sources of demographic and vital statistics in India, are a moving average of 3 years. Unlike the decadal headcount, the last one being the 2011 census, SRS reports are based on annual changes in more than 8,800 identified localities and villages. Why is this not surprising at all? In most Indian households, a male child is given preferential treatment over a female child. Parents often neglect the female child's emotional, physical and mental needs, bringing her up to believe that her life is to serve others, especially the male members of the family, and taking care of the household chores. Girls face discrimination before birth, at birth and throughout their lives at the hands of their families. They are denied adequate medical and healthcare facilities, nutrition, education, and are often subject to physical and sexual abuse. In the patriarchal framework of society, the male child is looked upon as the breadwinner. Parents look upon them for their security, to carry forward the family name and perform their last rites. On the other hand, the female child is looked upon as a burden, all the more due to the still prevalent dowry practice. Supporting this inherent patriarchy is technology. Sex-selective abortions have become easier in the last 2 decades, enabling people to determine the sex of the fetus just by purchasing modern and portable ultrasound machines. The Prenatal Diagnostic Techniques Act implementation also remains ineffective, as there is no body or committee monitoring its proper implementation. When did the problem come to surface? The most comprehensive data on Indian demographics comes from the decadal census. The child sex ratio in India has dropped to 914 females against 1000 males, the lowest since independence according to Census 2011. The child sex ratio has been making a dwindling trend for a few decades now. 962 in 1981, 945 in 1991, 927 in 2001 and 914 in 2011. Declining sex ratio is a silent emergency. In India, there has been a tendency to produce children until a male heir is born. The misuse of ultrasound for prenatal sex determination gave rise to a flourishing industry worth thousands of crores. This is despite legal provisions, incentive-based schemes and media messages. Indians across the country, bridging class and caste divides, are deliberately ensuring that girls are simply not born. This artificial alteration to India's demographic landscape has implications for not only gender justice and equality, but also social violence, human development and democracy. Which are the worst performing regions? With 866 and 876, Haryana and Delhi have the worst sex ratio at birth figures in the country. Other poor performers are Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Uttarakhand, Rajasthan, Maharashtra and Jammu and Kashmir. These states, all in northern India, have sex ratios at birth which fall below 900. The fall is steepest in Delhi, from 887 to 876. Uttar Pradesh is next. Punjab and Haryana, which fared the worst in gender equality in 2001 and 2011 census reports, are still at the bottom but have shown improvement. The findings of the survey indicate that sex selection isn't limited to the Hindi heartland, but is spreading to states such as Tamil Nadu, where the number dropped to 921 from 927. In the rural areas, the highest and the lowest sex ratio at birth are in the states of Chhattisgarh, 982, and Punjab, 863. The sex ratio in urban areas varies from 985 in Kerala to 848 in Uttarakhand. Who is to be blamed for India's missing girls? Unbelievable though it may sound now, sex selection was introduced in India as a method to control population growth. The Department of Reproductive Physiology was set up in 1970 in AIIMS by a doctor from the Population Council, New York, and funded by the Rockefeller Foundation. The research published in the medical journal Indian Pediatrics in 1975 argued that the excess girls born for a son was unnecessary fecundity and that elimination of girls would lead to population control. It said they no longer needed to produce endless children to have the right number of sons, and it encouraged the determination and elimination of female fetuses as an effective tool of population control. By late 80s, every newspaper in Delhi was advertised for ultrasound sex determination. Clinics from Punjab were boasting that they had 10 years experience in eliminating girl children and inviting parents to come to them. There were protests against advertisements of sex selection by women movement organizations. Some of the advertisements read, "Save rupees 50,000 in dowry by doing sex determination for rupees 500. Finally, in 1988, Maharashtra enacted the first law against fetal sex determination and the parliament did so in 1994. However, the government has so far shown little determination to implement the law and stop the sex determination practices. How has the PCPNDT Act performed? The Prenatal Diagnostic Techniques Act was passed on September 20, 1994 to ban sex determination, which leads to the elimination of female fetus due to several socio-cultural factors. However, this was not followed up by effective implementation, mainly because it did not specify the techniques of sex selection and did not bring all techniques within its ambit. A public interest litigation was filed in the Supreme Court over the lack of implementation, and the Apex Court directed the government to provide the Act more teeth by covering new preconception sex selection techniques, also known as sex pre-selection techniques. Thus, the PNDT Act was amended and the Preconception and Prenatal Diagnostic Techniques Prohibition of Sex Selection Act 2003 came into existence. With the enactment of this Act, the use of prenatal diagnostic techniques for sex-selective abortion was made an offensive crime. The Supreme Court intervention ensured that registrations of prenatal diagnostic clinics increased from 600 in the year 2000 to 55,000 plus today. Advertisements for sex selection had practically disappeared from print media, television, and from voice around the country by 2003. Yet, over the past 25 years, more than 15 million girls have been eliminated because of determination of fetal sex before birth. This was the outcome of at least 45 million medical crimes of determination and elimination. Barely 3,000 cases have been filed against violators of the Act over the past 21 years, though 500 million medical crimes have been committed. According to a written reply provided by the former Union Health Minister Ghulam Nabi Azad to the Rajya Sabha in 2003, only 143 people have been punished for conducting sex determination tests and medical licenses of only 65 doctors were suspended in the entire country since the enforcement of PC and PNDT Act in 1996. A recent Comptroller and Auditor General report charts the anomalies in the implementation of the PC-PNDT Act in UP, but it holds true for other parts of India as well. The report unveils that the law has been compromised due to lack of regular inspections, underutilization of funds meant for implementation of the Act, and failure to conduct sting operations. Auditors noted that only 52 decoy operations were undertaken in just 1% of the 4,622 registered centers during 2010 to 2015. Had the law been informed effectively, the child sex ratio should have improved. But on the contrary, it has reached its lowest level as per the Census 2011 data. And as the new SRS data reveals, it is going even slower. India has failed to protect its girls before birth and after birth.